Hey guys, welcome.
What's happening?
Welcome to the beardsmen, the critical beardsmen.
We are critically bearded.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Like we have critical beards.
Well, I thought of it this way.
Like two bearded fellows being critical.
So like if I like my dream opening shot of the podcast, like if we got like a designer to do like a little
high production
cool like digital short, would be like this like fucking like bad, like this dude looks like Cloud or something, like a stereotypical JRPG hero that doesn't have a beard, and he does this like badass move, and he's like, "Gah!" And then he like does it on this giant guy with a big beard, and he does this move, and it doesn't do anything, and it just says 99.9% damage blocked, and then he's like, "Oh, we can't hit him because of the beard," and then it plays some stupid song.
That sounds.
It's better in my head.
Most things are, but you can't really beat Mega Man with a
Dude,
beard.
one of these days I'm gonna show you my head.
Mega Man. Whoa! Not on this channel, buddy.
That's on the one that's exclusively on Pornhub. Am I right?
Yeah, that's Pornhub. Not
Pornhub.com/criticalbeard.
That's RedTube, not YouTube Red.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been. We ended up never doing a post E3 video.
We did not do an E3 video.
Do you want to do that?
No.
No? Okay, no. Then we won't do that. So fuck you guys, I guess.
Right here. Go to hell.
We did it, but we did it over Facebook Messenger where you guys couldn't listen.
Kojima made a weird oil baby game, and then there was copycat zombie game. And then Spider-Man is going to be a thing.
Or 4 or 5 or whatever.
Exclusive PS4.
Sony won again. The end.
Zelda was cool.
Zelda was awesome.
And then
awesome.
God of War, and then some other stuff.
And Ubisoft was funny, and Xbox's was awkward. Like
and they announced, oh my God, Tamriel Unlimited.
Yeah, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's unlimitedly cool.
Yeah, that means you can go anywhere in the game now and you can meet your friends, and there's
cool.
There's no like level lock.
Yeah, well then what's the point of leveling up? Why not just get on?
No, it's because you can go meet your friends now and actually play the game together. You don't even play the game. Hey. What are you even talking about?
You know why I don't play the game?
Because you don't have it?
I want to be the Dragonborn. I don't want a bunch of Dragonborns.
There's no Dragonborn.
We're all Dragonborns.
There's no Dragonborns in that game. Stupid.
I don't care what.
Skyrim happens in the future of this game.
I've never actually played ESO.
You're a hater, dude.
I'm a hater.
Is that what you're drinking? Sipping on a haterade.
And it's actually Sweet Leaf.
Dude, that shit is legit.
Green tea made in Austin.
Yeah.
And it's organic.
Austin, Texas.
That's where we're almost living.
That's where we're almost living.
So anyway,
you living? What? So I got one question to ask you.
He's got one.
What you playing?
What?
What are you playing at? Or I'm sorry, what are you playing? Game.
Wait, no. We have to do the segment. There it goes. Now. All right.
And we're back.
Thanks, segment. I'm playing. What
are you playing?
Well, I'm playing No Woman, No Sky.
No woman, no. I made that joke the other day, and I felt so proud of myself.
No, I'm playing No Man's Sky.
No Man's Guy right
here.
No
Man's Guy, and you play an old guy, and his name is No Man, and he like wanders around. You wander around to different NPCs, and you take get out of my sky.
I thought
it's No Man's Guy.
I thought it was like a feminist like pilot sim. It is. Like, No Man's Sky, that's my kind of sky.
I think you are. Maybe you are a woman in the game. Yeah. You don't really know.
There's just no men.
Playing that, we'll get back to that. Impressions on that here in a second.
It's going to be a review, basically.
I'm also just finished Abzu, which is a wonderful little game. It's
the next in...
pretty much Journey 2. Yeah, it's Journey 2.
It's the next in their line of games.
Yeah, it's the same art director.
What's the studio?
Well, that game company is the Journey studio, but the Giant Squid... is who made Abzu, but it's the same art director.
They kind of...
It's the same art director, same Austin Wintory, who does the music, who's an amazing composer.
He's not actually from Austin.
No, but his name implies that he may be welcome in Austin.
He would be.
The ending really resonated with me. It's the same length as Journey was. Some people might be like,
did you cry?
We don't need a Journey. I played the whole game with headphones, and I was a little tipsy on things.
You drunk slut.
No. But, yeah, and, man, the end was just, I don't know, something about it. You gotta play it with headphones. The music and the visuals and everything.
When it's on
amazing.
sale, I'm picking it up.
But yeah, the $2.
It's $2. Well, I'm fucking
the
buying
2 hour thing is probably going to turn off a lot of people.
Well,
and there's not a lot of reason to go back.
Yeah, just let everyone know it's a short game. If you're not into it, don't buy it. If you buy it knowing that and then you whine about it, you're dumb.
The other thing, I played the first half of the episode 1 Telltale Batman series.
How did that end up? It doesn't really look very good, honestly. I'm not very interested in it.
Well, so far, like the cool thing about Telltale games, like my favorite ones,
they're all the same.
Well, yeah, they are. Well, The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us were the 2 that I really liked. The first 2 that they did, really like Wolf Among Us. That was one of the coolest games I played. But their other ones have just kind of. Anyways,
they should do more Fable ones. That'd be fucking awesome.
There is they really should. And there is just so far there hasn't really been much of a part where I'm like actually like walking around as Batman, like doing stuff. Like investigating. Like most of it's been quick time events, like jumping into a thing.
My least favorite part of Telltale games.
Yeah, it's all like the whole thing was quick time events, and then I went up through
no detecting,
a long thing with Falcone, and it was just a conversation forever. Like so far, I really haven't been able to really walk around or do much. So that hasn't really done much for me.
First step's free, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
It will be like within a month.
Yeah, they usually.
And then the last thing I will say that I've just finished recently was Hyper Light Drifter. Now that game was freaking amazing. It's probably my second favorite game of the year after Uncharted 4. It was made by like a very small studio, mainly one guy, and Heart Machine Studios, and he made it. He has a heart condition himself.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
I get
he has
it.
a heart condition, and it's apparently been really hard for him to like.
Well, I mean, it's great. That sucks, but that's
yeah. It's his dream to make this game, and he finally did. And he really wanted to make an homage to Zelda, but he also has very like Miyazaki influences and stuff. And man, I gotta say, he nailed that shit. And
yeah, I played a little bit of it.
It's very daunting. It's very hard actually. But it's really, really well made.
Again, on sale, I'll pick it up. But I played the demo on PC a couple months ago, and I think it was just...
You got to get used to the combat. Like,
it was the frame rates
paced.
were really shitty, but I think that was just because it was that was just like a demo
I got
on
none
PC.
Of that, yeah.
But, I mean,
Brilliant
it looks
game.
fucking awesome, and I remember the combat being cool.
Yeah, the combat's just the and then you get these upgrades to your sword and your guns, and you get new gun. You get a new gun every time you beat a boss, so there's kind of a Mega Man kind of thing in there.
Mega Man.
I like him.
Rockman.
Ooh.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, so I love Hyper Light Drifter. get that fucking game. It's worth $20.
I'll buy it on sale if you're not very interested. It looks really cool.
It's really cool. Trust me.
Trust him. Trust us.
I played it
together
for about 9 hours.
How long did it take you? About 9 hours to beat it?
About 9 hours. It was solid. Good,
I like
solid.
Nowadays, like a game that's like 10 to 15 hours is just perfect. But I can hardly play those like 120 hour. Big
and there's a million secrets. There's a lot of that. Like you press against the wall and then you'll just start walking through it like almost like Symphony of the Night style stuff.
That's Final Fantasy style, dude. You need a thief class so you can see those hidden passages.
Or what's the familiar? Isn't there a familiar in Symphony of the Night that shows you the secret passages?
You play that game much more than me.
Yeah,
I played it through once in high school whenever it came out.
It's one of the top 10 greatest games ever made.
It's
objectively, yes.
Not really, because it's all it is really just Super Metroid. It's just Super Metroid,
but it's better.
No, it's not. Yeah. You're wrong, dude.
No, it's about the same.
Actually, I'm kidding. You're not wrong.
They're both in my top 10. So
right, Super Metroid. It's just funny how it's like Castlevania had their own kind of genre forming up to like Bloodlines and Castlevania 4 on Super Nintendo, and Super Metroid came out, and then the Castlevania series kind of collapsed into the Metroid genre,
creating
and then Metroid
the Metroidvania.
But then at that point, the Metroid series kind of
went into
disappeared, and then it came back with Prime, and then it just kind of
Prime again. Also one of the greatest games ever made.
But yeah, it's kind of funny how Castlevania became more Metroid than Metroid,
and then Metroid became more fucking like
random shit.
I don't know what to compare.
I don't know, man. After Prime, they just been stumbling in the dark.
There's some small parts in No Man's Sky where I felt like it's slightly like I was playing a Metroid game.
I'll give you that.
Where you come out in your ship and it's just creepy and you're like, what you playing, dog?
What am I playing?
Enough about me and my silly things.
Monster Hunter Generations came out on the 3DS.
Ah, that's right. It's good.
It's good. Yeah. It's the best one so far. I've always been
is the text any bigger? Do they make the text any bigger?
A moderate fan of the game. I've never been like, because you have to be like, I don't know, like people, the fan base of that game are really nice, but they are obsessed with that game because the game is so deep, and it's like you can just play it. I played the third one for like probably 400 hours, and then I looked at my friend's save file, and like I looked like I never even played the game.
Yeah,
like I'm just like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Like, I really have like the bone soul.
Yeah. But it's a really great game. The newest one, it's really good. It's kind of it brings back a lot of the monsters from the older games that I'd never played. So it's nice to see all these new to me monsters.
Nude to you.
Well, they are nude because monsters with pants.
Monsters don't wear clothes.
Monsters don't wear pants.
No, they don't.
So that's cool. Haven't been playing that too much. I've been playing it off and on.
Monster Hunter has always reminded me of kind of how Dark Souls is. Like the fans are just insane, and the games are super deep, but they're also just like really daunting.
They're very deep, and
you're like, do I have time?
Like the combat is not as much based on your brain synapses as much as it's based on preparedness. If you don't go prepared.
Yeah, I guess that's the biggest difference between Monster Hunter and Dark Souls. Dark Souls is much more.
But the combat is very similar because it's all based on like a slow cadence of combat, and learning patterns and stuff. They're very similar, and I definitely like the Monster Hunter series more than the Souls series.
But I'm the other way around. But in Dark Souls, you are searching in the dark for souls, and in Monster Hunter, you are hunting monsters. Those are the two bigger differences.
Yeah, on a larger scale, those are the two differences. Just if you guys didn't figure that out.
What else are you playing?
I played the Tales of Zestiria on PS4.
Oh, I saw you were playing that the other day. I wanted to message you, but you never answer your messages on PSN.
I don't.
Like, hey, how's the game?
I turned off the freaking HUD because when I stream, I don't want that shit popping up.
So you don't want like James invited
oh my god,
me to play Poop Wars.
I'm supposed to know about Poop Wars.
We're making that. We're starting a new studio. Critical Beard Studio.
Critical Beard
Poop Wars.
Critical Beard Games.
Poop Wars.
Yeah, Tales of Zestiria. It's really good.
Really?
Yeah,
I just heard that
I really liked
the same.
Well, all the Tales games are pretty much the same.
What was the last one?
Xillia. See, I haven't played one since. I haven't played one since Tales of Abyss, and I didn't really like it. I love Tales of Symphonia.
Yeah, that's
because that was my jam, and then I always tried ones that came after it, but they never.
Tales of Vesperia was good. The one with the dog. The one that came out on like 360.
I didn't play that.
He had the purple dog. It was like a dude with.
I hate purple dogs.
Oh no, or did he have purple hair and the dog was regular colored? I don't remember.
But it's good. The story is really good. That's really the place where those games shine, or the story, because gameplay is. It's hack and slash.
Yeah, combat's alright. That's good.
Yeah, it's simple, but it's fun. But the story was good, and the characters were really funny and stuff. It was good. It was a light romp. It was a light romp with some,
How was that? I Am Setsuna.
Oh yeah, I Am Setsuna. I had yet to finish it, but it's good. It's about as traditional as you can get in 2016.
That's what I heard. Is it worth $40?
It depends. If you're into...
My thing that turned me off was I heard it was linear.
No shit, it's a JRPG, man.
Well, I mean, like linear is in it. It doesn't really
play Final Fantasy IV and tell me it's not linear. Like,
well, yeah,
they're all
linear.
linear.
You have an open world map. Like, can you kind of level up, walk around, go back to other towns you've been to, that kind of thing?
Not necessarily, but I mean, people fucking gush over Final Fantasy X, and that's the most people. The 13 haters. And then
10.
It's really funny. The 13 haters are also the 10 lovers.
Yeah,
weird, right? Imagine that.
Well, 10 had better combat, in my opinion. But
well, yes, yeah. Well, it had but Setsuna, if you like that super traditional and you miss it, then yeah, it's worth the 40 if you're really into that stuff. But if you're not expressly into that older style, like mid 90s, early 90s JRPG.
I heard it doesn't really remind anyone of Chrono Trigger, which is funny because that's what they were boasting.
See, I didn't hear any of that. I didn't really follow any of the.
They said it wanted.
Well, you know why?
Spiritual success.
You know why? Because the battle system is pretty much note for note Chrono Trigger.
Okay.
But story wise, the story is really good.
I heard you leave little tracks in the snow.
It's super cute.
The snow physics go away.
It's very cute. No, it's a good game. 40 is really steep.
That was what turned me. If it was $20, I would have already.
I feel like 20 would be too. I think 30 would be the perfect price. 20 is I think it's worth more than 20, but 40 is good for someone who wants that experience.
You wanted it.
Yeah, and I wanted it, and I'm happy with it. Just like No Man's Sky, 60 is a lot of money for a freaking indie game.
It's an indie game,
but
for sure.
If you're going into it and knowing what you're gonna get, I don't feel ripped off because I knew what. We'll talk about that later.
Or will we?
But that's...
What else you playing?
I think that's all.
What you're not playing the No Man?
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's...
I just saw you.
That's the feature. That's the main feature.
Speaking of main features...
Oh my god, No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Let's talk about that. Everybody...
Let's review it. Let's
Everybody,
do a full-on review.
If you wanted to fast forward through all that dumb, boring indie shit and want us to talk
22 minutes.
A full indie game.
I don't know.
A full price indie game.
There are going to be spoilers to this game. Yeah, right.
There's no spoilers because it's all different.
Actually, there are some spoilers.
There's some story
the
shit.
Lore.
There's some lore.
I'm not going to spoil any of the lore.
Atlas. Shh. It's game over.
Game over. It. You blew it. But yeah, I got some notes because I have a lot to say about this game.
He's got a lot to say.
I got a lot to say. Well, let's just start. Let's start with the. First, do you remember your first moment your first jaw dropping moment?
Yeah.
Your first one that was just like.
Yeah. I think it was when I finally because I landed on this planet. It wasn't a particularly beautiful planet when I woke up or whatever, and
or whatever. Huh?
Yeah, and I couldn't really figure it out. And then I got in my ship. I got it fixed or whatever. You have a broken ship. You're supposed to fix it to get off the planet. And then when I finally got off the planet and that seamless non-load, which is probably the coolest thing about the entire game, is the fact that there is no loading screens except for when you go between solar systems.
And even that, we don't even.
Even that's still a pretty relatively small amount of loading.
And plus, who knows if that's even loading?
Or yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, at the time it could just be loading, but you're
fast.
You're just feeding.
Yeah, but we don't know. That could be in
It's
scale.
still cool to just watch. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it could be real time.
You're literally fast. Traveling there.
You know what I mean?
Warp speed. Yeah.
I think that might be the case, but I mean, Hello Games would know.
But
yeah, actually, that was my first moment too.
When I first came out in the atmosphere, and the first, I don't know what color your first one was. Mine was. It was mine was purple.
Yeah, mine was purple too.
Yeah, and it was mine. Yeah, see, mine was like dark purple, not bright. It was dark, almost evil kind of. I came out and I was like, whoa, and I was just like, holy shit, and I just remember looking at my looking where the fuck do I even go? And it was just and then, yeah.
That way.
Yeah.
At the end of Star Trek 1, I've been watching this old Star Trek movies. The last line of the first Star Trek movie, they ask Captain Kirk, they're like, where you want to go, Captain? And then Kirk just goes, over there. And then the movie ends. Yeah. That moment, when I was playing No Man's Sky, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Is that why you watched that the other day to get pumped for No Man's Sky?
No.
It was really a good one to get.
But yeah, it ended up being because Star Trek is very much I mean, the Federation. I mean, at least one wing of the Federation is just go in that direction and find shit or something.
I really think that. Yeah, but that moment, that first.
That was my moment. Like,
now I've had some even better breathtaking moments since then, but this was my first one.
Let's backtrack.
Yeah, I'll do some.
Let's describe what this game is first, because I want to give an actual review, because everyone's been asking about the game.
What this game is?
What this game is?
What this game?
What did this game? That's the name of the segment. What this game is?
What did the game? Kind of game.
So yeah, it is a exploration focused.
First person exploration.
First person. It's almost a
survival
mix.
Sim.
Yeah, it's almost a mix between a walking simulator, you would call it these days, even though I hate that genre, and a survival game. Because honestly, what do you do in the game?
Also, I would say
you fucking walk. You find lore every once in a while, and then you survive.
Yeah, but there's I mean, I see where you're going with that, but there's more. The walking simulator games, like Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Well, I didn't say it was a full.
Dear Esther, and those, like, you're literally just walking. You don't have like a jetpack or a ship and stuff.
That's.
But I get what you're saying. Okay,
that's just minute like differences.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like the core of the walking game experience is exploring, like that. That's what those games are.
I would also call it a wildlife simulator, like a zoo simulator in a way. Like, just because there's a lot of just observing.
But yeah, it plays like a mix between a walking simulator and like Minecraft without the building part.
I would say it would be the way, if I could describe it, I would say take the parts from Mass Effect 1 where you're exploring. When you could go on
tiny little bit of the game.
That's part of my Mass Effect 1 where you could go to the back planets and actually drive around on them. And walk around and find weird bases and shit. Yeah. Mix that with Minecraft and like a little bit of like Spore or Sim Life.
Oh, it's definitely Spore.
Yeah, Spore and Sim Life. You remember the game Sim Life where you could make your own weird fucking animals?
No, this is definitely akin to Spore. Even the creature randomizations, they look like fucking Spore creatures sometimes. Yeah. I'm like, did they use the same like algorithm for Spore? Because this shit looks like a Spore creature, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
Some of them look really bad. I saw one that I had to name it Majesticus because it was so fucking awesome looking. Like a fucking deer lizard. It was like the coolest looking thing ever. It was like a dinosaur, and he was like 5 times my size. So
yeah, it's already you have two niche genres.
Yeah.
You have walking simulator and survival games. Two genres that only a few people I've talked to actually really.
And when we say survival game, we mean like Don't Starve and like the survival portions of Minecraft.
Exactly.
And
you got to eat, quote unquote. You got to keep your energy up. You have
a life support system that will go down. Yeah, you have to keep everything fueled, including yourself. You have if the plant's too hot, your fucking your heat protection will go down. There's acid rain protection. There's oxygen.
And just like those survival games, there's no express endpoint.
Yeah.
And for some people, that's not acceptable for a video game, and that's totally understandable.
This game will not be one of
this
the
game
main things.
Is not for everyone.
Absolutely.
It's not.
It's gonna
not
be
even for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
There's going to be one of those games where people will play it and they'll go, "Holy fuck, this is everything I've ever wanted in a game." And then some people will play it and go, "Why does anyone like this?
Why does
this exist?"
Let's start before going into the technical aspects of the game and the gameplay and stuff. Let's talk about Hello Games.
Hello Games.
So they before this game, they just made some mobile like auto running games and some platformers for mobile and stuff like that. Yeah. And they've been good games, but this is their first like meaty game they've ever made, and it's like 11-person team.
Yeah.
It's like 11 or 12 people.
Sean Murray is the head.
Fucking mind blowing that 12 people.
Minecrafty.
But they I don't know if Sony came in contact with them or they got in contact with Sony, but Sony was just like, hey, we will market the fuck out of this game for years. And personally, I don't know this for sure, but I think that's part of why you have that $60 price tag. Because how else are you going to pay Sony off, man?
Well, the game's like 3 gigs. You know?
Yeah, it's like probably the smallest gig install.
It's the smallest install.
With like an 825 megabyte day one patch. Like
it's like the smallest install $60 game.
It took me 5 minutes to install the entire thing, which is incredible. In
that's why I bought it digitally, because I was just like, fuck it. Well, I might as well. It's going to take up like none of my hard drive.
But unfortunately, I think that union with Sony kind of ended up backfiring for him, because it created
an unrealistic
hype,
expectation
and misunderstanding, because I mean they haven't told a lot about the game, or before it came out they didn't really tell people a lot about the game. But you know why? Because there's really not a lot to the game. The game is don't die, go over there if you want. That's the game.
If this was marketed the way that like Sean Murray probably and I could tell with some of those reviews close to launch, he seemed very nervous.
Yeah, he should.
And he even said, he tweeted out like the day before it came out, he goes, "This game is going to be very divisive and is not going to be for everyone."
And you can't like
he knew that people were going to come in with because there's
the internet's full of
litany
assholes.
of horrible reviews going on right now. There's also a bunch of positive reviews, and it really is. It seems like for me, I was thinking, oh, if I could, in my head, I have this like numerical system in my head, and I'm kind of planning. I'm like, oh, if I could rate this right now, I'd probably be like an 8 out of 10 or something. Like it's good. It's really great. It's not the best game I've ever played, but it's really good so far. But it's got a lot of technical issues. And I was thinking 8's probably around the middle ground. And then I look at Metacritic, and it's literally like 9s and 5s. It's like there's barely in.
We're living in the age of like dissonant opinions between critics and fans.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the answer to that is. Oh wait, I know. Get rid of sites like Metacritic, because that shit doesn't work.
Metacritic is bullshit.
It's bullshit. It confuses everyone. Yeah, that's a whole other topic. But the like when it came out, there was a huge backlash. I've heard some ridiculous shit. Like people saw like the big that one of the first early trailers. There was like a big giant flying worm creature, and there's people out there who are legitimately mad because they haven't seen that. Where is it?
Right. The whole point is...
Did you even do any research on what this game is? No one is going to see that creature ever again.
People saw one trailer and they went, "This is the coolest game I have ever seen. And
I want this.
It's going to be the best game ever made."
Yeah. You know what?
It's going to be a system seller, was what people thought. Sean Murray was sitting there like, nervous as hell. He's like, "This isn't a system seller." You know what I heard?
I heard people piping this game up for themselves as if it was going to be Skyrim in space. I heard those words. Skyrim in space.
I heard that too.
You are a moron.
I never thought that.
You know why? Because I don't know. Like it's 2016. If you are not a consumer who goes out and looks up things, then you don't deserve to whine about things that you buy without looking up.
You're going to spend, half of the game is probably like literally just walking around mining for resources.
Yes.
And the thing is, in one of the first gameplay features I saw, and we finally saw him use the gun. He had the gun, and you have like a mining laser. It's like this green laser that blasts stones apart and what have you, and gives you certain elements, gold and iridium and stuff. And when he blasted it blew up, and then all these little pieces went into him, just like in Minecraft. And I was thinking, so this game's going to be like a survival / Minecrafty type indie game that's going to have this. It's working with this algorithm.
I think it was just Sony didn't market it well at all. They fucked up. Bad.
They made it. They just made it. They made it seem like it was going to be.
Game.
Yeah, they made it seem like it was going to be.
They marketed it with the same strength and trailer presence as a AAA title, and it backfired.
And I have to say,
because it deserves so much.
People are going to go into this thinking that it controls like a fucking Bungie game, like Destiny or something.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It's very clunky.
It is clunky.
That's probably like the movement is so weird.
Stiff.
Like it's stiff, and like even when you look around, there's some weird stutter. Yeah. There's some weird almost like you're like weird crouchy when you walk over certain. Like when I'm in a space station and I'm like walking up to a vendor, and like I just go across like little like things. I'm like, blink, It looks like my guy's like ducking almost, and just like real jittery.
No, let's go to that. Let's go to the graphics up to now. So,
visuals. What do we think?
Well, aesthetically, it's amazing,
right?
Especially if you're into like that pastel 70s Mobius,
which like kind of like Hyper Light Drifter has. It's got that very almost what you were saying.
Yeah, if you've ever I forgot the French guy's name. It's like Jean something, but he called himself Mobius, like his artist handle. It was like in the like the mid 70s. He did a bunch of concept work for a lot of sci-fi movies in the 70s and 80s, and he had this art style that right when I saw No Man's Sky, it reminded me immediately because he uses the same like just alien looking color palettes and strange looking formations,
like Logan's Run almost. Right?
Yeah,
like that's kind of what
Logan's
I was reminded by. Like,
I wanted to do that for my 30th birthday, but I didn't. I wanted to do a Logan's Run party, but I was too lazy because I'm fucking 30. I ain't got time for that shit. But yeah, the graphics, aesthetically, I'm into it a lot. I can see how someone couldn't be into it because it is a very like specific style, and if you don't like colors and bright colors and the color of like a unicorn like exploding everywhere, like you're not gonna be into it.
Yeah,
you know?
A nice carrot quote.
Yeah.
So it's definitely got that kind of thing, but also visually there are a lot of like tears in environments, which is to be expected.
Let's talk about the negatives.
And
frame rate drops. It's locked at 30, which sucks.
But I was never expecting that game to run at 60.
Not
a game like that.
That's no excuse.
That's no man's excuse.
That's no man's excuse. Hey, just because it's a 12-man team, they were still backed by Sony. Like that doesn't mean that I can't demand 60 frames per second, or at least be disappointed by.
So you're saying we should have a frame for every dollar we spend?
Yes, damn it. No, man. Like I don't know. Like I don't mind locked at 30, but it's not actually locked at 30 because sometimes it drops down super bad. At least in my experience,
so super bad, and you just like the Jonah Hill and Michael Cera just start floating across the screen. And you're like, oh my god,
you're an asshole. Hey, I'm telling my friends and consumers what they might experience in the game, and I experienced some pretty annoying frame rate drops.
I didn't see Jonah Hill. You don't know what species I have found.
Well, dude, just because you named an alien species Jonah Hill does not mean that's actually Jonah Hill. How many times do I have to tell you this?
I did really name. I'm telling you, I named.
Did you have a Jufro?
It was a big fat. It was like a big fat thing.
Is that racist, Jufro?
But no, well, it would it would do this thing where it would get really skinny and then get fat again when it was bouncing around. So it was like Jonah Hill because he does that.
Because he's fat.
But then he got skinny and he got fat again.
Yeah, kind of fat again. He got too high. With
he's the Oprah of white Jew kids.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to start giving cars to people.
You get a car. So anyways, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the frame rate, it's still like, it reminds me of Fallout 3 sometimes. Where it's just like you're walking and it just like stutters sometimes. Yeah. And like, I can get used to it, but that doesn't mean that like, it's okay. But yeah, it's not detrimental. All these things aren't detrimental. But they are present.
The other thing I'll mention is the physics isn't great.
No, the physics are not very good.
The thing that I noticed, probably the issue with the most visually was when I was on this really cool grassland planet, and then the wind started blowing, and I was like, "Oh, cool storm!" And then it was like the grass. It just like I think Kara kind of mentions it. Like it's 2D just from the perspective that you're looking at it. Yeah. It looked so fake. No, then again, and if this wasn't a $60 experience, I would be like,
you can't really like. Yeah, I don't feel ripped off by $60.
No,
but me neither. Like you can't avoid that price point. Like $60 is a lot for this game. It really is. Like 40 would have been perfect for this game.
But then again, 60? I've also paid $60 for games that are far
true. But that's what makes price points so important.
But what people expect from a $60 experience is it to be polished.
Yeah,
and here I just came from playing Overwatch, and Overwatch is like the
polished to the
fucking polished first person experience.
The game is so fun, man.
I've played. So going from Overwatch to No Man's Sky was like,
yeah, it's abrasive.
Whoa, like I was like going to look around, and in Overwatch I'm like, reload,
No Man's Sky.
And I'm like, and the walking speed is ridiculously slow.
Yeah, it really is.
But the visual overall, there's a nice sheen.
The aesthetic.
The ships look awesome.
The lighting engine is really nice.
Great. Yeah, there's some sunsets and
because,
stuff.
I imagine if this game had shitty lighting, it would look even worse.
Yeah, and then
the pop-ins.
There's some pop-in, yeah.
Some, dude.
There's a lot of pop-in.
Dude. Okay, I get it because it's the scale of a galactic scale. Like, yeah, there's gonna be fucking pop-in, but. I mean, some people really bitch about it. I'm not bitching about it, but it's present.
Yeah, I've never had much of an issue with pop-in, but yeah, it goes again. The thing about this game is it's the similar issues that I had like with Firewatch, where it's like is an indie game that's not using hyper realistic visuals.
It's
so it should be able. They should be able to make it to where it's not stuttery. To where it's not weird. Firewatch had less of an excuse because it was like
it's
a fucking
so fucking tiny in comparison.
It was a small little area to explore, and you were just in a forest. It was like, come on, guys.
And plus, look at there's frame rate stutters and there's pop-ins on Fallout. On Fallout 4, and that's like 16 to 23 square miles. How about like a galaxy? Like, there's gonna be pop-ins.
Yeah,
it's understandable, but it is like
but Fallout was
sometimes when I'm
it was handcrafted.
And it's sometimes when you're flying, like I don't know, like it looks unpolished sometimes when you're flying and things just like pop out of nowhere in front of you and they're not even far away. That's just like pop high, I'm a giant column.
I've also run into my first issue, a couple issues with the procedurally generated the algorithm is I've come across outposts where things are like not on the ground.
I've come across.
There's some floating things, and then I've also found a cave that I found the exit, but it was a tiny little square. It was like a square. If I could duck in the game, I could have got through it, but I couldn't. I couldn't duck.
It was in the rock.
It was in a cave, and then there was an exit to the cave. But it was just slightly too small. I know. I didn't have a grenade launcher at the time.
I discovered that on accident.
It was at the very.
I was so happy.
Yeah, I do like you can make tunnels with the grenade launcher.
Yeah,
I'm like I've done that now. I'm like I need to get back to my ship and it's too hot outside.
Or if you're pro tip, if you're exploring an underwater tunnel and you're running out of air,
you can make an air bubble. Oh, sweet!
That's it's pretty badass. That's cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I was kind of disappointed that there wasn't different gravitational effects.
Me too, man. Like, imagine the variation of.
I'm wondering if they're going to patch that in or something.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about potentiality of patches later.
I think it's the fact that there's no actual jump.
Yeah,
it's always a jetpack.
You're always
you can't just go. What?
I think that's how they kind of bypass the whole gravity thing because that would.
So I guess maybe we don't understand how the gravity would work because
it would have to be
constantly doing
it would have to be a total game rehaul. But it would be cool because it would affect every planet. Would you'd have a different jump, a different stride. Like it would affect the evolution of animals and stuff.
The other thing
that'd be really cool.
The other thing I will mention about the last negative I'll say about the graphics is and the pop in is when you mine a thing, like say a big gold ore. Thing.
Goldor. Isn't that a Power Rangers villain?
I think it's a
Pokemon. Same difference.
So you mine like a big gold ore thing or a iridium tower, and then you fly or you go too far away from it. It will be back, and you'll be like, wait, I just mined that. I thought, and then you'll walk back to it. And it will slowly fade back out like you had already mined it. So it's almost like it's a mirage.
Yeah,
it's
like it's a ghost of something that was there.
Yeah, it's a trick, and it's not cool because you can waste fuel and land your ship and go, oh, I thought I mined. Yeah. Oh, I did mine.
It sounds like a problem with whatever memory they're using.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's interesting. Yeah, but other than
there's one last thing.
What's that?
The sun.
What about it?
The shadow when the sun is setting on a planet or there's a shadow crossing, that shadow stutters at about 5 frames per second.
Really?
Have you?
I haven't noticed it.
Yeah. When you see the sun, like the night coming in, or the sun, like the shadow that crawls across the ground is literally like stuttering. Like it's like whoa.
It is traveling from like that like thousands and thousands of miles though.
But it'd be cool. Yeah, but no, that's not.
It's funny because all these problems you can one you can chalk them up to a small team. Two, you can chalk them up to such a large game. But again, that like those aren't excuses. Those are just temporary reasons that they will hopefully patch out.
Yeah.
So graphics. Graphics.
Yeah. So cool visual style.
Yeah. If you're into the style. All this pop-ins and stutters, like, they won't bother you.
Then they'll probably end up fixing these.
But they will. I imagine in a month or two they're going to patch out a lot of especially the frame rate should be the first one to fix, honestly.
Yeah.
But that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So it's a little janky, but that's how it didn't surprise
me. Me either. Hold on.
We already hit. Every time I poop on you. So next up we have
what? Sound?
Sound, yeah.
Sound.
I love the soundtrack.
You know what? I've been listening to the OST at work. It's like an hour and 50 long soundtrack. And it's interesting listening to the songs separate. They're all written by this band. I forgot the name of the band, like 65 Sand something.
65 Seconds to Mars.
65 Seconds to Sand Mars. But it's weird. Like, you listen to it in an OST form, and it almost sounds like a totally different soundtrack. Because I don't know what AI they use to determine when to play songs, and not just like the playing of the songs, but like the musical cues. Yeah, because there were some pretty badass moments with those musical cues.
Yeah, there are. Well, one of them I noticed.
And then some of them are really awkward.
The first time I went to a space station.
Yes.
This thing kicked in. It was like, and it was just like this really like industrial, but
no, I remember that.
It was really cool. Dude. Yeah, me too. I got goosebumps. Well, because the space stations are so cool looking. That's another thing. The design on the space station.
I wish they were larger because it's like one person in that entire space.
Right, and they're all pretty much the same. They're exactly the same thing. So,
but they are different geometrical shapes, which is nice. I found a giant like D&D 20-sided die once. It was fucking awesome. Yeah, it was just like floating in space.
I've seen the first one I got was a triangle, which is crazy because that's a lot of visual things from Abzu. There's a big triangle things everywhere.
We're not here to talk about Abzu, dude.
Buzz. Buzz, the greatest video game character ever made.
Buzz?
Yeah.
Like from Earthbound?
Yeah. I'll save the world.
I'm dead. You're fucking dead, Buzz. But yeah, I really liked the soundtrack. I ended up liking the music itself is good, but some of the musical cues that they use, like you'll be walking somewhere and then like just this really cool like synthy sci-fi motif will play and it'll just disappear into the silence again. And that shit is really awesome because it's always seems to be like synced into the perfect situation.
Yeah, I've had some where it'll start playing when like I'm coming up over a hill.
Yeah, the vista,
and I
somehow
hit this,
it matches the vista and
horizon.
Like,
and it's like and you're like, whoa, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
I've gotten goosebumps several times from the soundtrack, just like kicking in right at the right time. And then there's another time where this really like chill ambient soundtrack came in when I like dove underwater for the first time, and like I went underwater and was like.
That's cool.
And it was like playing this really weird.
No, the procedurally created sound. They did a really good job with that because it really does feel fresh and it feels original to you, like your experience. Which I haven't played a lot of games that use procedural like sound placement because it's not really procedural created sound. It's like procedurally created placement of sounds.
And
it's good.
Soundtrack's great.
The sound effects, though.
Sound effects, I like. I have no issue with the sound effects.
I have an issue with.
I think they're really.
I have an issue with. Okay, maybe not sound effects. This will go into voice. I'm sick of hearing fucking inventory full. We'll get into inventory full later. We'll get into inventory full later because I have something to say about inventory.
Okay, full. Now I don't know is that. Yeah, but see, I like the design. I like the way she sounds, though. I like her voice. Like
it's
that.
Okay.
She has a really cool.
I don't know. It sounds like every other like I'm a sci-fi girl voice. Unit received. Like you hear unit received like so many fucking times. There's nothing wrong with the voice itself. It's just there's not a lot of variation. It's like I hear two different sentences for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, the one that gets me is the one where you're
you're on a planet like a moon where your life support goes down really fast, and she's like, life support systems low. And she says that, and I'm like, and she says it when it's at 75%. Yeah. I'm like, bitch, it's not low yet. Yeah. Stop.
Yeah.
Tell me when it's at
really
like 10.
I'll save it for later with the gameplay, but let's just say the lack of options in the game disappoints me.
Why can't you change your controls?
Yeah, there's a lot of option problems. We'll talk about it in the gameplay section. But there's a lot of problems with the UE in general and the options. But other than that, like the use of sound was really good. Like, man, when you're walking somewhere, you're walking like in a valley or some shit, and then like you just hear, because some of the like the creature sound effects are actually procedurally created. Like you'll never hear another creature make the same noise. Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and some of the shit that I've heard, like, holy crap! Like,
there's been some howling.
It's pretty
like at night, you know.
Yeah,
and you'll be like walking around and you'll hear like a.
And it just sounds fucking alien. You're just like,
get the fuck out of here.
And you're like, is that behind me? Was that in front of me? Holy shit.
Yeah, and I'm like, a little bit more gold than mine, and I'm getting in my fucking ship.
But yeah, like the creature sound effects are spooky as shit, and I really love that part. That's probably my favorite part of sound is those creature sounds, because they sound really spooky sometimes. And then like the sci-fi motifs I really liked.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
positive sound.
Yeah, it sounds really.
There's really there's no problems with sound.
No.
I don't think. Apart from like I'm sick of hearing that bitch over and over, and I wish there was a way.
And I have to disagree with Carrick on. He said that he didn't like the pew ness of the lasers. I fucking love
honestly,
that.
I can see where it's coming.
I love it so much.
I can see where it's coming from because I like that cheesy pew sound too, but that doesn't mean that it can't have a good low end to it. Like, especially the ship lasers. Like they just there's no bass to them. It's just like pew pew pew. Like I wish there was like a pew pew with a little more bottom to it. I can see what he's going for.
The thing is too, we also haven't gotten far enough to where we may get another weapon that's like, you know, do some like crazy.
True.
And the phaser beam has a low end kind of, you know.
But I even like the bolt caster doesn't really have a low end, and it's just like. Those are just nitpicks.
Yeah,
but
I
mean,
like
they're I can see where Carrick's going through.
Yeah,
like, it's just like I get it. You know, why not strive for excellence?
Well,
I want bottom ends.
I think it's as good as a 11-person team would have been able to pull
so
off.
You can't keep using that as an excuse.
That part, yeah, I can, because it's like
no, man. But but you can't use that as an excuse because it's not like we're judging the studio. We're just giving people who are watching this a review on it.
But that's not my opinion. I don't share those. I think the sound is
perfect.
Not perfect, but I mean
it's probably the best. It's the part of the game that has the least problems, honestly.
Yeah. Let's move on to like gameplay, fun factors.
Yeah, let's go gameplay. This is the big one because this is literally all that this game is just a couple of gameplay loops that you repeat for infinity.
I have to say, I started out like being like, wow, this is awesome. And then I got to a point where I went, wait, is this all this is? And then I got kind of down, and I kind of didn't like it for a minute. And then once I...
There's plateaus.
Yeah,
like it goes
like
oh, this is awesome.
It's really cool.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah, when it first started, it's really cool because you're like on this planet and you're like, wow, you can just go anywhere and it's like cool. But then when you realize all the shit you got to get your ship fixed and like you're like, where I don't know where to find this shit. And then you hit the scanner button and it tells you, oh, well, there's a lightning bolt over there and a square over here. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know.
That brings that's that's bad. Like I wish there was like an optional tutorial you could do, or like I don't know, like
really for all intents and purposes, I would honestly call this a $60 beta.
See, I wouldn't call it a beta. I think it's past a beta for me, but it's definitely the gameplay and the game itself is definitely, like you said before, it's a framework. It's like when Minecraft came out. It was good. It's high concept, but it's really sloppy, and there's a lot of room for potential. It needs
some fine tuning. It needs
a lot of fine tuning.
Yeah, it needs, but it's also so ambitious. It's like
exactly because when Minecraft came out, that was ambitious as fuck because it was in beta for like 6 years or some shit.
I started to write a review last night. For this, and I coined it as this big, giant, messy, clunky.
It's a mess.
Clunky,
and it's awesome.
Amazing.
It's a beautiful mess.
Gorgeous.
It's a beautiful mess
and
of a
addicting adventure. Like it's clunky and nasty, but it's also amazing and addicting. And I compared it to the old man in the disaster movies, who's always running around like losing his papers and shit, and like he's like trying to tell everyone the thing's coming, you know, and it's like no one will listen to him because he's like ugly and stupid, or he's ugly and loud, and he's just, no one wants to listen to him. He's like, it's coming, the thing is coming, you know, that guy, the old man with the messy hair. And it's like that's what No Man's Sky is. He's that guy in disaster movies who's like warning everybody about the thing. It's like no one's listening to you because you're ugly. But if they really just sat down and talked to this guy, they'd find out he has a lot to say.
That's not necessarily true because as we said before, this game is not for anyone. It's not for everyone.
Well, neither is that old guy.
Dude, I'm always for old guys. I know everyone I know is into old guys.
See,
maybe it's just an echo chamber. I just surround myself with people who like old people. I don't know.
Yeah, but you like No Man's Sky. Old men.
So it also reminds me kind of when Destiny came out. Because Destiny was barren as shit. It had potential. It played really nice.
Yeah.
But like look at Destiny now compared to when it launched.
Oh,
it's a different game.
People literally went from like getting 7s and 6s to getting like 9s and 10s.
Yeah, and I can just imagine if Hello Games, because their very first patch, their day one patch, did you look what their patch?
Yeah, there's a million things.
Fuck it, it was almost a whole.
There's
new
no
game,
way
man.
they actually like came up with that shit last minute like that. They
So,
probably had that all in the background.
If Hello Games is going to continue doing these update patches that are going to fix a lot of the problems that I have written down here, in a year, it's going to look like a totally different game.
Yeah, like Minecraft. Like in the
exactly.
Minecraft beta, it was like this.
Like, look at Minecraft now compared to like when it was in beta.
I played it in beta where the only people that were talking about it were like the nerdiest nerds. You know, it was like
he's elite.
And and I was playing. I was like, man, this is so cool. But what the fuck does any of this mean?
What do I do?
The learning curve. That's the other thing. In No Man's Sky, the learning curve is just so ridiculous. It doesn't tell you anything.
There's almost zero handle.
What does the lightning bolt mean? What does a yellow square mean? Now I know that yellow square means an oxide.
I honestly,
and the lightning bolt means
honestly don't
energy source.
I don't mind. I did like my first. I heard a lot of people not having a good first couple of hours.
Yeah, then the planet you start on is.
I had a really great.
I mean, it completely.
I had a really great first couple of hours because I really liked looking up in the sun and like waking up and just being like, what the fuck? And then like you're figuring out the your button things, and you're like, oh, okay, I need that. Okay, oh my god, my suit's going down. What does that need? It needs. Let me get some more stuff. Carbon, let's try carbon. Oh shit, carbon works. And it's just like this snowballing of learning that you do. And I really liked it, but like I wish they would have done optional tutorials. Like keep it open and free, but for people who don't like total freedom, like teach people how to fucking. Also, I get the feeling how to do this shit. If they
I get the feeling that Sony forced them to release this before they were ready.
That I just know those big developers.
It doesn't feel like that to me.
I mean, it was delayed several times, and it was delayed.
It was already delayed a couple of times.
But yeah, it was delayed at the final hour in April?
Yeah, in April.
And it was like supposed to come out like that next week, and it was like delayed, and we were like, what?
Yeah,
like that's crazy. That. And then the fact that and I understand why. That's probably what they all that day one patch was probably from then.
Well, you know why they delayed it that one time was because they had it was some sort of legal trouble with
the algorithm.
And then they had legal trouble with the name too.
No country for
no country for
old man skies.
There will be old country for old blood sky. Wait, that was like three things.
There will not be old Greg country skies.
I'm old Greg.
I am Batman.
Hi.
so
speaking of Destiny, that UI. Is that not like Destiny immediately?
Well, and not like the cursor thing.
Everything is Destiny with that user interface, man.
And it's like,
and it's not bad because I actually like.
I loved. Yeah, I liked it a lot. But this one's a little more clunky.
Well, you know why? Because they're using they're using Destiny's UI for a Minecraft type game. That's not exactly the smartest idea. There's so many. I have problems with the
inventory. Well, so the first thing that's going to turn people off probably almost immediately is this is a game where it takes place in 5 quintillion amount of planets.
18 followed by 18 zeros.
So but it takes place in this, and you can only carry 5 elements at the beginning.
Yes.
And you're like, what the fuck? So the first thing, pro tip that you need to do is when you're on a planet and you finally get your ship all fueled up and shit, and you do the first thing that you're supposed to do, go on a planet, find a beacon, and craft the chips.
Dude, let people discover the game themselves.
Well, no, this is a pro tip. This is a pro tip.
Don't listen to this. Figure it out yourself. I did. It was awesome. I felt like a real explorer.
He gave you a pro tip, so I'm going to give you a pro tip.
Just
craft
the
chips. Craft these little chips.
Segment. Just the pro tip.
Just the tip, but it's a pro's tip. Craft the little microchips. When you go to a beacon, use those to hack a beacon, and then
it took me 10 hours to discover that.
The beacon will tell it to show you a shelter. I don't know why it says shelter, but it'll say show you transmission or something else or a shelter. Tell it to show you a shelter, and 9 times out of 10 it'll be a thing called a drop pod. If you hear that there's a drop pod nearby, go to that because it is a suit upgrade, a la Super Metroid, where there's a floating thing you come in. Yeah, and you got
if that sound played. Oh man,
and man, that opened up the game so much for me when I learned that. Man, it really, that's something everyone should fucking know. I'm sorry, so everyone should know that you can. Those shelters are where you get your upgrades for your suit, your inventory slots.
Fuck. Okay, let's just. I'm gonna talk shit about the UE. The only way. Okay, first there's no blueprint tab. So the only way to figure out if you have a blueprint for something is you have to have you have to have an empty slot, which is hard to come by in a survival game, and then you press triangle and then you see what you have. That's fucking bullshit. That's nonsense. That's terrible design. I don't care what you say, 12 people. Fuck you. That's terrible design. It's terrible.
But it is bad. It's bad. It's
so bad.
It's not good.
You know what else? Whenever you're out of inventory, but it doesn't tell you until you end up wasting all this precious mineral, and you can't hear your computer going inventory full because you're blasting minerals, and then you end up wasting all those minerals because they don't go anywhere.
They don't just fall on the ground like they should because you can't carry them.
It's terrible.
They still go in your body, but you just don't carry them. See,
all these I'm gonna bitch some more, but these are all things that they are going to fix with a patch, I swear. Yeah, because these are all really simple fixes,
and that's probably the big thing about Sony backing them is the fact that they're going to be they're going to say, look, we put a bunch of money into this. People are having issues here, and here. Here's a fucking.
I mean, they already did it with the day one patch.
Here's a $500,000 to get it fixed really fast,
and it wasn't like a little freaking tiny day one patch. It was enormous.
Oh, it was one of the most massive patches.
It was enormous
as far as
little like individual.
So I really have a problem with the inventory full bullshit. Mm-hmm. I also have a problem with just I don't know. The game feels like it's an exploratory game, but you get into it and the game kind of like punishes you for playing the game, but not in a sensical way. Like, okay, you're supposed to harvest minerals and stuff. Oh, I need some iron. I'm not even being greedy with my iron. I need 120 iron. Oh, there's a guardian. These little fucking guardian assholes.
Sentinel.
Yeah, sentinels, and they'll just attack you for mining iron. You know, they're attacking you for playing the fucking game. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't see. I don't mind the sentinels too much.
I don't mind him. Wait, yeah, I do mind him a lot.
I don't mind it, and they don't mess with me that much.
They mess with me constantly.
That fucking planet where I was harvesting gold like over and over and over and over.
No, man,
they fucked with me one time, and usually what it is they'll come over and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And if you stop for a second and they scan you, and then you just stand there, and then they drive away, and then you can keep going. Usually, if you just don't do it,
but I don't see. The thing is, I mean, why are they there?
Have you summoned like the King Sentinel?
No, I'm not talking about lore wise. I'm talking about gameplay wise. Why are they there? Why are they policing you by you're playing the game? All you're doing is trying to fix your shit.
They're integral to the plot.
I don't care. I'm talking about gameplay wise. We're talking about gameplay.
They're there.
I'm talking about you're playing the game.
They're a source of titanium.
You're not being greedy. You're just getting a little bit of iron, and then they start attacking you.
I've never had that happen.
Dude, it's an infinite game. Of course, it's not mine.
I guess they're more aggressive.
It happens to me a lot.
They're more aggressive on certain planets. It'll tell you Sentinel.
Well, every planet I must have visited is fucking aggressive because I mine a little bit, and they're like. All I'm saying is it feels totally counterintuitive to me to have a system in the game that punishes you for playing the game, and it doesn't make any sense why it just feels totally counterintuitive to me.
It's the only way to get titanium that I know of.
Well, that doesn't have to do with anything. You can just kill sentinels.
Yeah, but
so
I don't mind. I like there being
I don't know,
robotic.
See, I like that concept too. I like the concept of like the mysterious police force that's just everywhere. That's cool.
And they're clearly like villainous.
But
they're there to be fucking.
But I'm just trying to play the game. I'm not even being greedy. I'm just getting some iron, dude.
We play Minecraft.
Why are you attacking me? I don't like it. They need to like.
Well, it's because there's not a lot of aggressive animal species that I've come across. I've come across maybe.
Dude, I've heard stories of people landing on like purely predatory planets and like they're just like ripped to shreds.
Yeah, I've only been attacked by like little spider things and like one little like wolf monkey thing. But
no, I think I've come across like one predatory species.
That's the thing. I think that the sentinels are
but you see, like if they were like a predatory species, like a predatory species doesn't attack you because you're mining iron.
All I gotta say is, just for fun, when you first start playing, like right out the gate, start shooting at the sentinel, and it'll start calling its sentinel buddies, and then it'll call the master sentinel. Have you done that yet?
No.
It's like an ATST.
Oh, that thing I've seen. That.
Yeah, it's in the promo shit. But it looks like a giant bipedal ATST, and it has like these lasers. It charges up. It's like, and it like kills you in like 1 hit. It's awesome.
Fucking sentinels.
Yeah, it's awesome. But I bet you get something badass for killing one of those.
I don't like them.
All right. Anyways, we're spending
like I feel like they're cops. Like I have to. Like, if I go mine something, I have to like look around. But that's bullshit because I'm not doing anything wrong. It's like, yeah.
They don't really. I haven't had them fuck with me too much. I usually just
if
they come up and investigate.
I mean, it's a galaxy. It's a galaxy 18 quintillion planets wide. Like you're not gonna have the same experience.
I heard.
But I'm telling you, my experience.
I heard a good point.
They're asshole cops. That's all the Sentinels are.
There should be what would make the game cooler with the Sentinels is including some sort of hide or duck button. To where you could rush into some tall grass if they're chasing you, like duck underneath and like have them like kind of like searching for you, and you're like hiding, or some hiding thing would be cool, like a hide in a container or something.
So yeah, I guess what would you add? Like if Hello Games was like, what should we add with the next patch, man?
What will we add?
What are we gonna add next? This segment called "What We Gonna Add."
More, yeah, I mean, really just fixing the jankiness of it would be a great start, and fixing the controls. For one, don't make me sprint with the right stick, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's counterintuitive as fuck, dude.
What the fuck is that?
Why would you do that? You're gonna sprint with the same stick that you look with. You're gonna run with.
You are screwing with every FPS player ever made. It's like a joke at first. It was like, wait, that can't really be how you sprint. You click the right stick, and what world? It should either be like if it's not going to be the left stick clicking down, it should be like L1 or like X or something. You know what I mean? It should be like,
or even like down on the D-pad works pretty well because it's right above that freaking.
Yeah, just anything,
right above that
anything but what it is. It's the weirdest.
It's terrible.
And you can't change it. Like, why can't I fucking change it?
Yeah, the lack of options, the lack of customability. The
customability.
That's a word.
Is it?
Yeah.
I have custom abilities.
I have custom abilities. The UE problems. I'd like to name my ship. That'd be nice.
Why can we name a planet?
We can name everything.
We can name solar systems, planets. But we can't name our ships. Animals, but we can't name our ships. I don't know why. That's going to be in the next patch.
And I also wish that we could, I don't know, buy custom paint jobs for them.
Yeah. Upgrading your ships, the appearance.
So you can like keep it. You know, you don't have to buy a new one immediately.
My other big issue is why I don't like the fact that when you upgrade something, it takes up your inventory. I get it. It's
I
kind
get
of
it
a survival thing.
From a survival point of view, but it can get really annoying.
And I kind of get maybe even on your guy that way, but like, why on your ship?
Yeah.
On your ship, it should be. Also, pro tip: you can store twice as many elements on your ship as you can on your person. So if you have, say, 20 plutonium on your dude, but you can only carry up to 20 or something on your guy, you can carry 40 on your ship. So you can always carry twice as many. Something that you will figure out like 20 hours into the game or just right now.
Pro tip. It'd be awesome to land on giant asteroids.
Landing on asteroids, that would be cool. I tried to do that and ended up crashing.
That'd be so cool.
Though, because there's some big ones where I want to just like land down and be like, whoa, holy fuck, Armageddon,
comets.
Bruce Willis.
I want some comets in that game. Yeah. You know, even if they're just like an effect. Like, seeing a comet fly by you would be pretty fucking awesome.
Being able to explore those derelict ships, I don't understand. I don't understand why they're there.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with that? Because there's like a place that looks like you can go inside them, and then it just turns you around.
No, a lot of the points of interest in the game they're not very interesting. You know, like, I don't know. That's definitely not where the game's strengths
Basically, there's either a place where you find upgrades.
Yeah. There's
a place where there's a bunch of exploding barrels that will be titanium or some shit. Or there's
more lore.
Monoliths where you learn ancient alien language.
Which is so awesome. I love that aspect.
It is cool. Yeah, no, it is cool. That's one of the coolest things. And the fact that you'll learn an alien word and then the next time you'll talk to that species and they'll say something, and you have like there are these kind of choose your own adventure style dialogue points.
Yeah.
Where it'll say blah 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 blah, and it's like, do you greet him? Do you like shake his butt? Do you do a dance? And then if you read it, it's like blah 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 blah. But I hate people who dance. And then you dance, and then you're standing with that guy goes down or something. You know, like if you know what to do, you from the language.
But I've heard the languages are enormous. Like I've heard people getting.
Well, yeah, I've learned like a million fucking words in the.
I've heard people like learning like 80 to 100 words, and for just one race. And like they're still like, I can't understand.
Learn a million Viking things, and I still can't understand like half the shit they say. Like,
it's pretty impressive because that means they probably took a Tolkien style and just created 3 fucking languages.
Then that's one of the things that works really well with something as big as this game is having a full.
You know what they should include in patches or DLCs. I'd probably buy it. More races.
Yeah, more races.
That'd be probably like an invading race or some shit. They just like arrive. You're like, oh, what the fuck are those? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, like kind of in episode Disca, or whatever the Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Where those like ships of guys will just come over and shit.
Oh man, that's coming up. That's coming out next month.
September is coming.
Final Fantasy 15, boy.
Woo woo! I heard they just a quiet little side note: 15 DLC because they're going to let you play as each character.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to
No Man's Sky.
So right now, aside from all the negative, because we have a ton of negative shit to say about.
That's the thing. You know why? Because the game has so much potential, and all we want to do is I want to see the game be the best possible game it could be.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is to nitpick the fuck out of it.
And most of the shit I have an issue with are things just like they fixed with Destiny.
Yeah, because
but the only big thing here is
what's the biggest thing for you?
The fact that Destiny had wonderful fundamentals.
Yeah.
It played well and it felt good to
control
play. It was a great shooter, whereas this feels so floaty and weird.
But it's not.
Which I get. It's an exploration game. It's not a shooter. Game. It's not supposed to be a shooter.
It is though, if you want it to be. But it should be. It should be.
Your gun is.
You should be able to control it for an exploration game and also a dogfighting game and also
they should add a little more dogfighting.
Dogfighting's pretty.
They need to add more.
More.
As much as it feels like an infinite universe, it also feels very barren, and some of the planets feel samey. And I've seen some plants and shit that are like, it's like you have discovered a new planet. I'm like, have I though?
Like, dude,
looks a lot like
it's like,
this one on the other planet.
This one has 5 little pieces of grass around the center, and this one has 4.
Yeah,
this one's
blue.
Yeah, this one's blue. That one was orange.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, technically, I guess.
But then, man, I've seen some planets that are just like so impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to an ice planet.
Yeah. And the other thing is the fact that you can name. I'm a huge this game is very much going to be more for like right brain type people who are really creative. Yeah. And like to name their own fucking
if you like
places.
Experiential things that might not be substantial but are just as
is going to be
as important as
this is the anti-Twitch game. I mean,
I don't think that's true at all, dude.
No,
I don't think that's true at all.
Twitch being like the Twitch shooters.
Oh, they meant
not the
streaming platform. I'm like, dude, this is made for fucking Twitch.
No,
dude.
It's all over Twitch. No, they're like anti
Twitch gameplay.
People who like Call of Duty and and stuff. This is not going to be the game.
No,
this is a game.
I mean, that's not necessarily true, but I mean, yeah.
Don't go into this looking for Star Wars. Go into this looking for Star Trek. You know,
that's a fantastic allegory. That's exactly what it is.
Because if Halo is Star Wars, this is Star Trek, or whatever, what have you, or Mass Effect is Star Wars, this is Star Trek. I mean,
no, for sure.
It's really cool, and there's a lot of just really cathartic, like lonely moments.
Oh
man, if you like The Martian, there's some parts of the game I felt like I was in the movie The Martian. You know, where you're like everything's going wrong, and you're like running out of life support. And you're like, fuck, I gotta get back to the ship.
Did you ever see Enemy Mine?
Oh yeah, the one with the alien, guy. And
it's like the two enemies get trapped on a planet, and they have to survive and become friends.
They don't know each other's language.
No Man's Sky reminds me a lot sometimes of Enemy Mine.
It's a very lonely space exploration.
You know, I played it.
2001. There's a lot of stuff that kind of harkens back to that.
I played with a friend. On couch co-op, like swapping controllers, and that was a blast. Like
No Man's Sky, just the same character, just like swapping.
Just switching, and it feels like you're just discovering and exploring together. It's the closest thing we're gonna get to co-op because let's talk. We didn't talk about the multiplayer
where the two guys didn't. One guy visited another guy's planet that he had discovered. So two people found the same planet.
Yeah,
but. Were in the same area and could not see each other.
Okay, so what was it like 6 months ago? When Hello Games was they mentioned
you can find someone else, but it's very unlikely. So I was thinking maybe I'll see a few people.
And people are fucking pissed. But you know why that's fucking dumb? Because one,
fuck other people.
Well, first of all, fuck other people. But okay, that was an offhand statement in an interview 6 months ago when they were still in development. games can change within 6 months of development.
And
just because they mentioned something offhand 6 months ago doesn't mean that they're written in stone that they have to do.
They're saying it's likely that they were maybe on different servers.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
That's the same. You know what I mean? Like they couldn't see each other, but he still saw his planet.
Yeah,
and I think that's really. I don't expect to see someone else. I'm not playing this to fucking see
think
somebody.
about this. Like, do you really think Sony and Hello Games are going to keep servers up for moments that maybe might happen one day? I don't know. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Like, they planned on doing this like multi-server experience, but then like they're just like, it's going to be too expensive.
What's the point? Let's just upload. When you find a planet, it goes up into the algorithm and becomes a planet someone else could find, or a system. And like just the idea that someone will find my solar system that's called Jedicius, and the planet Hothex and the planet Yodar. That's really exciting to me because I found a planet that was like Dagobah, and then I found a planet that was an ice planet. And I named it
my first system was named after. I'm doing classic human shit where I'm naming all my planets and systems after long forgotten gods.
Oh, you're going very. I'm going
pretty traditional.
Every galaxy I keep saying galaxy. Every solar system I find.
There's only one galaxy. Euclid. We're in the Euclid one, right?
Yeah, I believe so. And everyone I find, I have a theme of a game theme.
Yeah.
So the one I just came from was called Mother 3, which was there was Nessus, there was Gigas 9.
What's up, my Gigas?
There was Gigas 9, and there was Rockin was one of my planets. So, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun.
The game,
some shit. Naming the animals is fun too. Naming the plants, I don't really.
Oh! Here's some things that I would really like for them to do. More things. Okay, maybe this would be counterintuitive to like the main gameplay loop of like explore, get out there, don't stay in one place, go explore, don't stay in one place. Base building.
They are doing that.
Are they?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, that sounds really cool, but like again, think of it this way: like the whole like gameplay loop of the game is to never stay in one place.
Right.
So it seems kind of weird.
Oh, they need to add waypoints. One of my biggest issues.
Oh, you mean like markers?
I finally found my first crashed ship.
I lost my first found crashed ship because there was no markers, and I got lost looking for iron.
Yeah, and there's no way to find a way back.
No.
Let us place waypoints.
You know what
we have a fucking visor that zooms in.
You know what
Why can't I place a waypoint?
I've had to do? I've had to start drawing maps like 1987. While that's awesome, it's not 1987 anymore. You know, like I'm not playing Legend of Zelda on the NES anymore. Give me a goddamn marker.
And also, we're on a planet-sized planet in a fucking infinite galaxy. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, give us some waypoints.
Like a map would be nice, but markers would be best. Like, let us put up like 10 markers. You know, one marker would be great, but like 10 markers that we can just be like, okay, my ship's over here. That one's already marked. Here's something I found. Like, here's something I had found.
How they did with the new Witcher update, where you can put like a boss marker, a person marker, a horse marker,
like that, like have like different colored markers.
So then I can look on my HUD and say, oh, there's the crashed ship. It's over here.
You better watch this Hello Games because we got some ideas, bro.
Sean Murray, are you paying attention?
Sometime. Have you shaved yet, dude?
Come on!
You want to get on our podcast? Because we have beards too, dude.
Hey.
He has a big beard now because he's been working on the game for 3 years. Some type of he's pretty cute. He's some type of like what do you even call this? Like an RPG magic chest.
Like a Borderlands. What do you mean?
You know, a magic chest where you can put all your inventory in it, and you find another or create another magic chest somewhere, and then boom, there's your inventory.
A shared.
I call them magic chests.
Shared crate.
In old JRPGs, they would have just these chests that were magic, and they just switch stuff around.
A loot box that would transfer.
Yeah, like
one that's in every space station,
or like maybe every space station, or like make it some type of gameplay where you can like create them wherever you want, but you can only do a limited amount of them or something.
Yeah, that's clearly what this game has, or what Minecraft has over this is the fact that like right off the bat in Minecraft is like the first thing you fucking craft is a
magic box.
Magic box. Like I'm gonna go store all my shit.
Minecraft's also been out for like fucking 6 years or some shit, so it's had time.
Right. Yeah. And it was a building game, whereas this is an exploration game.
And also, I want some type of vehicle, like a speeder bike or a Mako type like vehicle.
Yeah,
like a land vehicle would be so dope.
Yeah, it would be, but I don't know how that would work. So well.
Have it like, I don't know. You make it so like you'd have to have a big enough ship to like carry it, like connect it to the bottom, and you can kind of land on it, and then you can like. Like if you want to use it, like maybe you can have a prompt inside the ship when you land to be like, do you want to explore in your car thing? And you hit yeah, and then it kind of drops you into the car, and then the ship kind of goes, and then you drive and it lands.
Yeah,
that'd be dope.
Or just give me skates, give me like roller skates.
You've been playing too much Overwatch, dude.
Yeah, let me fucking Lucio that shit.
I love Lucio.
Yeah, can we wall run?
I can, dude. You want to see me?
I want to wall run in No Man's Sky.
A better Discovery's bestiary menu.
Yeah, you know? I don't like how it's set up by planets.
Yeah,
I like.
Well, I like it that it's split up in planets, but I wish there were options like like you could like switch over to just animals or just plants, and you can kind of cycle through.
The other game I will compare this to when I'm like discovering the new shit. It's like Pokemon Snap, kind of. It's like It's like,
I can totally see that.
So it's like the world exploration of Mass Effect 1 mixed with Minecraft.
It's so many different things that it's probably one of the most divisive games in years.
It really is. Like I said, like when you say, oh, people either love or hate it, this is literally that game. You people are, and I love it. I know we're saying negative shit, but I love this.
But you know what? Like again, you got to blame the marketing because it hyped it up so much, and people are so dumb that they think just because something is hyped means it's for everyone. Yeah. That's not what something that hyped is. Something that's hyped means there is a group of people, small or large, that are really, really, really excited about something.
And also,
it doesn't mean that it's for everyone.
As much shit as we've been talking about it,
so much shit.
Technology behind no loading screens.
At its core, it's incredible.
Is absolutely insane. Being able to leave the planet without any loading screens, go into space, land on another fucking planet.
Ooh, you know what I would like?
I mean, that's just crazy. Awesome.
I'd also like. I would like some
underwater
sort of
creatures. We haven't seen those. I don't think they exist. Like big whale.
Yeah, I've only seen like little fish and shit.
More flying creatures too.
Yeah, more flying creatures. I'd want some type of like I feel a real disconnection between like think about Minecraft or Fallout 4, like where you pick up some duct tape and you know what the fuck duct tape does because it's duct tape, it's adhesive. But when you pick up Iridium, I don't know what the fuck Iridium does. Now if there was a way to like I don't know, like it would be cool if like it was almost like a science lesson tutorial where like I don't know, make it so like instead of just like repetition teaching you that Iridium does this, like I don't know, like make some sort of like lore sense.
Yeah,
you know?
Well, to an extent there is though, because there's like oxides, which are like your iron and your zinc. Which
but
are
that's
used,
all like,
which are used
but it's
for,
not actually taught to you. It's just kind of like you have to.
No, it's not. And then, but
so like
once I think about it now, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then there's like the stuff like the red elements. Those are ones you always want to keep on you, like carbon, plutonium, because those are what restocks.
But like it doesn't have that.
Then they're the blue shits, your silicate.
It just feels
you need those rarely. Those are
disconnected
for advanced crafting, and then the green elements usually are just. Money elements.
Yeah, just sell it.
No, I notice like how gold and
I get that. I thank God they color coded it like that. But still, like, there's no. I wish there was some sort of like the same like duct tape analogy. Like, I wish I could just be like carbon, duh. Like plutonium, duh. Like, I want to know why plutonium runs my ships. I want to know why plutonium's fucking everywhere. Like.
I get why. Everywhere, I'm glad it is because you need it.
Yeah. But I mean, like like lore-wise, like what? Like I just wish there was a way for the game to. It'd be cool, rather. Not that I wish, but it'd be cool if the game, like in story and lore, would like. It'd make it easier for you to be like, oh well, duh. That's why I need that. Because like with Minecraft, like making a pickaxe is wood. So it looks like a pickaxe. Boom.
Well, yeah, but in Fallout, we're talking about things that exist already.
Yeah.
And
no, I know.
In Minecraft, we're talking about like wood
things that exist like at like a large scale form, but still like they could make it into some sort of like a science lesson. Like I think it'd be cool to like learn what plutonium does, learn why. Like,
well, iridium isn't even a real element.
Well, it doesn't have to be real, but like
I like that some of the elements are real and then some of them are bad.
I just think it would be really cool and nerdy if they did like they really delved into like the science and like optionally you could like learn why these elements do these certain things.
Yeah,
I think that'd be cool.
It would be cool, but
for me,
I think it's asking a lot on the.
Oh no, this is just me shitting at it. Yeah, this is just me shitting out of my ass. Like it would be cool if, but that's like the least amount of.
Okay, so far, how are you actually enjoying yourself?
You know what? I'm liking it. I think the same way you are. Like where, like I'll have these plateau moments where it's just like. This game, you know, I can see the end just not really being there, and sometimes that kind of makes me sad, and I just kind of stop. I'm like, maybe this game isn't that great, but then like it's just like, holy fuck, you reach like a progression point, where you get new shit, and you're like, yeah, and then it hits a plateau again, where you're like, oh, this is still cool, but okay, I guess I'll just keep exploring. Whoa, awesome, and then it just kind of like does that.
Me about to buy a new ship is the most excited I've been in the game so far.
I can't wait till I buy a new ship.
I got 1 million credits, and I'm like, I can pretty much buy like
400,000. Somewhere around
find gold. I'm telling you. Dude,
I know.
That's it.
I've been gold,
moons.
Gold, and I'm looking for those Gek bitches because I know they love gold.
Those Gek things, yeah. And then upgrading
turtle people,
inventory,
so cute. Well, who's your favorite alien species?
The bird guys. The Geks.
The Geks?
Yeah,
the Geks. I like the Daft Punk guys.
Yeah, that's the Vikings, right?
No, the Vikings are like the big guys.
Who are
the ones that look like Daft Punk robots are like the fully
cool
robot.
the Korvax.
Yeah, the Korvax. I like the Korvax.
So I've noticed that every solar system has like its own like governing race
species.
Because in the one I'm in right now is all Korvax.
Yeah.
It's like they're all Korvax everywhere, and I'm just like, oh, all the ships are and they don't like me as much as the Geks do. The Geks and the fucking and the
That's
Vikings.
You trade so much with the Gek.
Yeah,
they're like, I love you.
The Geks were like, this Gek really loves you. He wants to play ball. And so I'm wondering, now this is the other thing I want to know before we sign off here.
Oh, we still got an epilogue.
What if your standing with a certain race is increased or is high? Do they give you discounts when you're buying ships from them?
I bet.
Because I noticed like one of the Geks, like I didn't have as much, but he offered me a pretty badass ship for like 500,000, and I was like, whoa, really? Like that doesn't seem very expensive. So
I can't wait to get a new ship.
Yeah, that's the coolest fucking thing.
Oh, we didn't talk about the pre-ordered DLC bug debacle.
Oh yeah, so people who pre-ordered the game, got a fancy new ship.
Yeah, if anyone out there pre-ordered the game and they haven't played the game yet and they're about to start it, when you get your first ship, your little Pinto little ship, I call it the Pinto.
Yeah,
it's just this little
pregnant roller
thing. Yeah. When you get that, don't accept that new ship from your DLC until you get the
blueprint
for the hyperdrive. Because there have been moments where people through specific events or through specific like things that they do, they get trapped on a planet or on a moon or something because they're trapped in the system because there's no way.
They cannot. Yeah, they will. Well, because the DLC ship has enough to leave without learning how to make the blueprint. There is a little tutorial there. There is a little bit of a tutorial.
Tiny. And it's in the corner and you can just ignore it. But Hello Games really should have included the blueprint with that DLC ship.
Yeah, because that's a game breaker.
It's a game breaker. I would be pissed if
luckily,
I put 50 hours in and I was stuck in a system, I'd be pissed.
Luckily, it's an early on thing that happens and not like something that would happen like when you're...
But if anyone is watching and they haven't played and they have that DLC, be very careful.
Yeah. But just be safe. Fucking play it like everyone else and start with the regular ship.
Yeah, so I started with the Pinto.
It feels cooler when you get... Because I feel like it would just take me longer to want a new ship. if I already had a cool ship.
The DL ship is pretty cool looking. It reminds me of the ship from the last Starfighter. Love that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. That's a cool ship.
Any closing comments?
I just want to say I fucking am having a great time with it. I'm like I said, I'm going to go home and play it all night.
It's everything I wanted it to be, but I can't recommend it to everyone. I can't recommend it to most people.
Well, it's not going to be for everyone, and even for the people that it is for, it's got some glaring issues and just some bugs that are going to be ironed out.
But if you're into awe-inspiring scale
and if you're into like.
Because the scale
indie like level sci-fi,
incredible.
Yeah, the scale.
We didn't even talk about the scale. Like, oh my god, the scale! I can't even comprehend. I still can't comprehend the scale.
Yeah,
and I played it for 15 hours and I can't comprehend it.
And like the shit that like with the shit where it's like you're in your ship and there's a planet off and it's like it'll take you like hours to get there.
And
then you boost. I love the time. I like the time
because that's a perfect way to make us comprehend scale.
Comprehend how, exactly. Because like I'm already in a spaceship and it's telling me it'll take me 4 hours to get there.
Yeah.
And then you start boosting and it'll be like 20 minutes. And then you go into your little pulse.
And then it's like
drive.
2 minutes.
Yeah, and then it's like 2 minutes, but it's still so cool.
I love how when you put it in pulse, it's auto mode, so you can just like go with the controller.
And not only that, but when you come up to a space station or a planet, and it goes and it comes out like that.
That happened to me the first time I was flying towards this.
But you still have to hit the brakes because you're still kind of.
I wasn't paying attention. I was like playing with my phone or something.
I hit a fucking space station. I actually spiraled out. Like I don't know if it was a glitch.
Sounds like a glitch.
I think it was, but it was actually kind of cool because I hit it because I was like whoa, 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 and I was like whoa, and then it started slowing, and then it finally like corrected itself, and I was like, whoa, it was the. Because that doesn't. I don't think that happens. But it was good. It felt like I actually was spinning off into space.
Yeah,
Darth Vader style. Yeah, after Han got him.
What's what's your number? What's your number on this?
Man, here's my deal. And someone knows I'm a number guy.
Yeah, that's
okay. I love that.
I love giving you shit about numbers.
He's a shit. He's a numberless guy.
I mean, he can do whatever he wants, but you know.
Right now, it's probably at like a 7.5 or an 8 for me.
It's fair.
Out of 10.
At this standing.
But it also...
It's been out for like 4 days.
There's games that I would rate like an 8.5 or 9 that doesn't have its hooks in me like this does.
Yeah.
So that... You take what you will from that. But if you're a creative... Like a guy who loves, or girl,
come on, Robin,
or Goyle, who loves fucking old crazy sci-fi, lonely sci-fi stories like Moon or The Martian, things like that.
Moon is the best.
I feel like there's some Moon stuff in here that kind of makes me feel like,
I was or
old
to
Metroid.
Moon soundtrack while playing this game.
You were?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. And then fucking throw on some fucking Bowie and fucking just cruise out into the stars.
Put on Dark Star.
Yeah, Dark Star, and
it's a great album.
If you're a fan of any of the things I just said, or Star Trek, or even like Serenity in Star Wars to an extent.
You know what? I got kind of a Serenity vibe.
Me too.
Mostly because of like it always rings in my head that one quote. What is it? Get a ship, get a crew, keep flying, something like that.
Yeah.
Like. It's just like the point of the game. It's just like gather materials, keep flying. Like that. It's just like that's the game. Like you gather stuff, you just keep going. Like go explore.
If you're a fan of cerebral sci-fi experiences and survival games,
maybe not cerebral because there's not.
I think this is pretty. I feel like it's a pretty like.
Honestly, I wish there was more.
Speaking of quotes, I like how there's a cool quote after you die.
I've only died once.
There's a cool quote though. Have you not seen? I've died like 5 times.
I saw the quote, but
there's a different quote every time you die. There's a really really cool quote, and
cool.
And how it says generation, like when you die, generation 2, generation 3, like you're a clone.
You're a clone or a drone or a robot or something.
But I will say,
a robot.
I think there's that feeling I got in Super Metroid, and it makes me love Super Metroid so much. Super Metroid.
I love Super Metroid.
When you first land on Zebes. I always call it
Zebes.
Zebes.
What's up, my Zebes? Is that racist? I don't know. I don't know what's racist anymore.
It's all racist.
Oh yeah,
where everything's racist.
Isn't that racist?
That's it's all. It's just can't even. Zeebs. That's racist. When you landed there, man, and you come out of that pod and it's just raining, and you're just like, whoa, and then you're just like, and you're just hearing your footsteps.
You get deeper and deeper underground.
Yeah, and it's such a solitary experience, and it's really cool.
Yeah, that's what the game is. If you like solitary experiences, you will like it. If you don't like solitary experiences and you're expecting like a multiplayer game based off of something someone said in an interview 6 months ago,
if you don't like
play it.
Obtuse experiences, also it's pretty it's pretty out there.
It is out there,
but you'll learn it and love it. I recommend it to a guy. He said this is all the recommendation I need, and then he came back and commented later on and said, dude, thank you so much for telling me to buy this. I love it. But it's like, I knew that he was the type of guy who would enjoy this game. But Call of Duty Twitch people probably look up.
Probably not, but you never know. This might open up someone's brain to a whole new type of video game.
Whole new world, a whole new place with skies and men.
Skies and men.
No Man's Guy. Well, this has been the Critical Beard podcast.
Well, aren't we going to talk about some more nerdy things? Then you want to talk about trailers or something?
I want to talk about the one trailer.
Okay, so yeah, that was No Man's Sky.
Speaking of sci-fi experiences, let's get another.
Da, 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 da.
We're gonna get that in later. That's gonna be a whole thing that I'm gonna make it somehow.
Okay.
Throw a bunch of weird shit into this one.
Okay.
I like it. What did you think of the trailer to Rogue One, a Star Wars story? The second trailer.
Trailer 2.
The first one was technically a teaser.
Yeah, that very first one was a teaser.
This is a story trailer.
It looked like what I thought it was going to look like.
He shot a rocket launcher at the AT-AT's eye. That was mean.
I don't know. I'm just.
Why does it?
I'm just so cautious about this movie, man. I'm really cautious.
One thing I want to know.
I don't know. I mean, I know I'm going to see it, and I know I'm going to like cry.
Warwick Davis,
yeah.
You saw him at the end when they all stood up. When you're like, "Are you with me?"
No.
And they all stood up, and then
I didn't watch it 6 times.
I think that was him. I think it's him. I really liked how they set up the kind of the band of guys that they're getting together, like the monk, the pissed off the Spanish guy.
The monk was the shit.
Yeah, he's still so cool.
He's just like
what did he say? Is he force sensitive? He must be.
Well, yeah,
he doesn't use a lightsaber.
Yeah, you don't, baby. You don't need a lightsaber to be a force user.
Well, he can always use my vibro blade.
Oh my. But yeah, he's looking to be my favorite character because he's just like a badass force monk with a staff. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think they all know that he's going to be like a fan favorite. Also,
yeah, I think so too.
Forrest Whitaker,
he
seems really epic.
You know, honestly, like when I saw him in that get up, like I couldn't help but think about Battlefield Earth.
Yeah.
Like,
but this can't be.
I know, but
there's no way because it's like one of the worst movies ever made. So.
I don't know, dude. At least that movie is enjoyably bad. Like, I've seen bad movies that are just unenjoyably bad.
I don't know. Batman and Robin is probably my least favorite movie ever. And I can't even argue that it's enjoyably bad.
I can think of worse movies.
Only thing that redeems that movie is the one-liners from Arnold that are all ice puns.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's not enough?
No, I still hate it so much.
But yeah, I mean, is there really anything to say about that Star Wars trailer? Like,
I like the guy. I like the what's the other guy that has like the long, like dreads or something. It looks like, and he looks like a Hawaiian guy, and he was like, "This is my homeland" or something shit. And he had a gun. He had some badass armor.
Yeah.
Just some really cool character design in this. What's really cool.
But again,
when she walks up in that TIE fighter, flies up, the scale on that one was really cool.
Again, we didn't talk about this on camera, but I didn't like the last Godzilla movie.
I did. Well, you just said you liked it.
I didn't.
You said you liked it. You didn't really like it. You just liked it. I thought you said.
No, I said it was okay. It was pretty good.
Pretty good.
Okay. Oh. This is gonna turn into a Godzilla review. So the guy who's doing Rogue One also directed the last North American Godzilla movie.
And before that, Monster.
He did Monsters. Not Dark. That's the sequel. I keep confusing.
Sequel, yeah.
But okay, I liked Bryan Cranston because
Gareth Edwards is the director's name.
Bryan Cranston's awesome.
But he's only in it for like...
But then he died in the end of the first act. And then, I don't know, man. Like, Godzilla was cool, but the monsters he was fighting... lackluster, and then like there wasn't enough monster fighting in my monster fighting movie.
I'm not a big fan of Homeboy.
Who's Homeboy?
Main character.
Oh, they were terrible. Everyone except Cranston was
amazing.
Yeah, everyone.
And then he just like is
Cranston,
gone. Like,
and then the Japanese dude, Ken Watanabe. He was great, but again, he was only in it for like 3 scenes.
It's like we're gonna get 2 of the best actors around,
and then the rest of the movie,
in like hardly any scenes.
The rest of the movie was just boring white people doing boring white people.
It's like Gary Oldman being in that Little Red Riding Hood movie for like 5 minutes. And like everyone in the movie is terrible, and then there's like 5 minutes of like Gary Oldman, and then the rest is terrible.
And then that I don't know, the sequence that always sticks in my mind is that like 7-minute sequence, maybe it was even 10 minutes, of the soldiers preparing to jump out of the plane, and then jumping out of the plane, and then falling out of the plane, and then falling for like 3 minutes. And it was just like, okay, jump out of the fucking plane already. Where's my Godzilla in my Godzilla movie?
I will say the Godzilla payoff was fucking awesome, though.
Bullshit, though, because
it was super
I don't know.
badass.
There's like 2 camps of thought. There's people who are okay with like...
I love thought camps.
Waiting to like get that Godzilla nut, you know, just like waiting, like, oh, I can't wait till that last act to get to Godzilla. Oh yeah! But then the other camp is like, I want Godzilla from the beginning because it's a goddamn Godzilla movie.
Goddamn Zilla.
Like, I want Godzilla the entire time.
I thought it was a good movie.
I didn't think it was. I thought it was a good movie, but like,
it could have been better.
I walked out of it disappointed.
What's that dude's name? He's fucking Quicksilver in Avengers, right?
I don't fucking know. I didn't watch that movie.
Fucking what's his name? You didn't watch the old Age of Old Men Skies? Tron.
Gary Ultron. No, I didn't.
Well, yeah, he's Quicksilver in that, which is crazy because the Quicksilver in the X-Men Days of was awesome. He was awesome, but he's I don't know Aaron
Eckhart?
No, not Aaron Eckhart. He's Two-Face.
Dude, Thank You for Smoking. Have you seen Thank You for Smoking?
I've seen.
It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it,
I've not seen
see it.
I've heard of it though.
It's good. But yeah, it's. I mean, the thing is, the trailers for Godzilla looked really cool for me too, and then the movie ended up disappointing me. So like, I'm just very.
This
cautious.
Also has the thing is
very cautious about Rogue One.
I think that it seems as if the new overhead producers at Disney really have a lock on quality.
And that's the thing.
I think they're really
that's
like
the saving
lately.
grace.
It seems like their movies have been fucking. I mean, with the last Star Wars and the last Civil War,
because think about this.
I mean, they've just been locked
even their like badly received Marvel movies still were enormously popular and made more money than most movies those years.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these. And Disney knows what they're doing.
Yeah, there's like millions of people who think like Iron Man 3 is like the worst thing ever and blah blah blah.
Or Iron Man 2.
No, Iron Man 3 as well. Really? Tons of people hate that.
I don't really like Iron Man. Sorry.
I'm not crazy about Iron Man either.
But I'm not going to say they're bad movies.
They're not bad movies. But I thought 3 was actually kind of good, and then there's people who hate it and they hated the twist in it or whatever. But even that, it's still like a pretty damn good movie, and people hate it. Even Iron Man 2 wasn't that bad. Like,
I kind of liked it because I liked. What's his name? Old mushy face.
What's his?
What is his
Mickey
name?
Rourke.
Mickey Rourke as the freaking Whiplash. Dude, I loved that villain. Although he was just an over-the-top Russian guy.
I thought he was gonna be Omega Red.
Me too.
I'm like, oh, he's got the whips.
It's a class.
It's Whiplash.
But I mean, it's such an important story. It's an important story in the Star Wars universe, and you can't just fuck up how they got the plans for the Death Star.
Because have you noticed that they have gotten a lot of directors who don't have a ton of like great, or they have like a decent backlog.
Yeah.
But they're not like amazing, and then you're like, well, I don't know how good this movie's going to be, and then it's like
the Russo
really
brothers.
fucking good, like Guardians of the Galaxy. That dude didn't fucking have the best fucking track record.
He made like 1 or 2 movies.
Yeah, and I think that the producers are like, they know what the fucking people want to see.
I'm most excited I'm more
Force
excited
Awakens.
about Star Wars 8, obviously, because that director is the fucking bomb.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, he directed the best episode
I can't believe
of modern television, in my opinion.
I don't know what that is.
Breaking Bad, Ozymandias. It was the fourth to last episode in the entire series. Blah blah blah. But he directed that, and that's arguably like literally critics say that that's the greatest episode of television, modern television.
He also directed some badass fucking movies.
Looper, Brick.
The guy who directed Brick is directing Star Wars 8.
Yeah.
Let that sink in, everyone. If you haven't seen Brick, you should go see Brick.
Well, you can follow the evolution by watching Brick, then Looper.
I loved Looper, too.
Looper was so good.
One of my favorite parts walking out of that theater was being like, I loved like the prosthetics they put on what's his name?
Joseph
to make him look like Willis.
Yeah,
I loved it. Like they gave him that little like frow.
But it looked kind of like it looked
good.
Good. Like it didn't look weird.
And he did like his like Bruce Willis impression.
Yeah,
but he has this certain like all of his movies have a certain noir line going through it.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna get even any Star Wars mainline movie that's gonna have noir elements in it
and dark, he's very dark and very noir, and
it's gonna be awesome.
I think that's perfect for the middle episode.
Right? Exactly. That middle episode is gonna be dark and fucked up. It's gonna be awesome.
And awesome. And not only that, I mean, because if this movie is bad, I'm just gonna like be so confused. Because I'm gonna be like, we clearly have a studio that's just fucking pumping out really good movies left and right. Like, dude, Civil War and Force Awakens were two movies.
Civil War was amazing.
Civil War and Force Awakens were two movies that came out, and they were like, these movies should not have worked ever. It's like Civil War is the movie about all the superheroes fighting each other, which is like what everyone wants.
Everyone's
to see.
always wanted to do.
And
but
Star Wars
failed.
Fucking the next episode of a movie, whatever bajillogy that we're in. After 3 of the worst, continuation movies of a franchise ever, and destroyed and killed it. It was supposed to be Resurrection, and it was like Force Awakens and Civil War was like, holy fuck! I don't know how they could have possibly pulled those off better than they did. And people can say what you will about either one. I don't care. They fucking were successful.
Yeah, even if you didn't like the movies, they were critically
acclaimed, well received by
fans, and they made a fuck ton of money. So I don't care about your opinion, dog.
Whoever's over at fucking Disney, who's like quality, who's QA at Disney right now.
Well, I know what's her name, Kathleen Kennedy, is in charge of all the Star Wars now, and she's doing a fantastic job. She's been a producer with Spielberg and Lucas for like decades, so she fucking knows.
Yeah,
like she knows. She's been with them. Knows. She's been the one that went the fucking mid '80s and shit, making this shit.
You ask her, she fucking knows.
Kathleen Kennedy, we were tight.
She's pretty.
So we could probably go ramble like for a couple.
We could keep rambling
more hours, but Jinx, pinch poke, yummy coke. Yeah, I beat you.
Yeah, I beat you. We are very professional here at the Critical Beard
Critical
Studio.
Podcast Beards.
This is the studio that we own.
I rent it. $800 a month. I know it's a little steep, but
expensive.
It comes with a bedroom and a kitchen.
Roommate. He's got a roommate. But the new Star Wars trailer looks really good. I think it's going to be really fucking good.
It doesn't look bad.
It's not going to be as good as Episode 8, but I think it's also like it's a smaller story.
But it's such an important story, though.
It's an important story.
Like they can't fuck it up.
No, they can't.
No pressure, guys.
It's okay if they fuck up. Yeah, like I'd rather them fuck up the Han Solo origin story. Or whatever.
Because
like I'd be like, well, whatever. You can do what you want, but that's a fucking prequel bullshit. But this is in between Episode 3 and Episode 4. That's very fucking important. Like
it's a prequel to New Hope. It's very important. It's very important.
It's very important prequel. I like.
Hey, what's a game that's going to come out soon that you want to pick up?
Final Fantasy. Also, Inside. Have you heard of this game?
Yeah.
We all thought it was an Xbox One exclusive.
Well, it's a time exclusive.
It was the guys from Limbo.
Yeah.
Well, it's coming out this month.
Shit.
And it got nothing but fucking 10s.
No, I heard
and 9s. I heard it's like
I'm not going to buy it,
indies
but I am going to buy the new Deus Ex. I'm a big Deus Ex.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah. Fucking.
Wait, I'm going to kick Bob in the fucking face.
I'm gonna. What direction? How are you gonna play?
Stealth hacker, like I usually do.
Stealth hacker. I'm gonna do lethal stealth. I'm gonna be a meanie.
I can't do that, dude. I can't kill people. It's not their fault. They're in my way, dude.
Hey, Adam Jensen wants dead.
Hey, you know what? He didn't ask for this.
I didn't ask for this.
God, man, I quoted that for months after I played that game.
I didn't ask for this. What am I doing?
It's like you're like RoboCop and Batman.
And I was watching some gameplay,
and I saw them go into the menu for a second.
Yeah.
And I saw that they upgraded the Icarus Fall. There's like a new... So it's like they took... Because that was one of the coolest powers from the last game. Because it was like...
Wait.
I remember like being up on a high like skyscraper thing and you being like, oh, fuck, I don't want to jump down. And then, the fact that you could just like... that was so cool.
I can't wait to learn.
There's going to be some... Like, it looks like there's a branching, like... Icarus Fall, like, do damage to people around you. Or like Silent Icarus Fall, I think, maybe, or something.
I just can't wait till, like... I learned what they learned from all the mistakes they made in
Human Revolution. Which is crazy because it's weird to think like how much I bitched about those boss fights, but also like
the director's cut's pretty
good
awesome.
That game is though still, and they fixed that.
That's pretty like amazing of them just be like, oh, we're bad. Here's a whole new version.
Yeah, and the other thing too, the boss fights weren't a huge part of the game. But it was like Metal Gear.
But the thing is, if like I was doing pure stealth hacker, like I didn't put anything in any combat, and then your first boss is like pure combat, and you're fucked. Yeah, like you can't beat him. I mean, you can, but
and he was just like a stereotypical ball guy. He was like Raven.
I was like Vulcan Raven. I'm just like, but then they fixed it and balanced stuff, and I can't wait to play
Mankind Divided. And it like the locales look a lot more
varied,
cool and varied. Like it looks like you're in
like Detroit was cool, but it was so small, man.
Yeah, it looks like a small game. Oh, my other biggest gripe was the NPCs were like the same guy over and over again. There was like even in your home building, there was like 12 dudes who all were the same guy. Like, hi, can I help you? What are you doing? Hey, Adam, how are you? And I'm like, Jesus, dude, you're all 3
syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh, you again? Oh, you're a different guy? Yeah. Okay.
I'm excited about that. That game played really well, though.
Yeah, it really did.
It was smooth.
Final Fantasy 15, I'm very excited and nervous about.
I'm very nervous. I'm nerdvous about that game.
I'm nerdvous.
What do you... I mean, I don't know. I think Mankind Divided, I think, is going to be one of those games that's not on a lot of people's radar for some reason.
I know.
I don't know why it's not. Because
the first one sold well.
The first one was like... shouldn't have been as good as it was. I remember playing it...
Yeah, especially for a prequel to a game that was, for all intents and purposes, dead. Like, that second Deus Ex killed the series.
I liked it.
You liked Invisible War?
Yeah. Oof. I liked Invisible War. Well, that was my first Deus Ex.
Okay.
I was just like, ooh, this is cool. I can
it's cool.
Like, the way that it's like an RPG.
Compared to, like, I don't know, I played the first one on my friend's Mac, 99 or whatever. And, yeah, I was immediately...
I like that kind of. It's like open, but not. It's not open world.
It's emergent gameplay. I think they call it. Where like you can choose how you play it.
Here's a big area, and there's some locked areas and things that you can sneak into. And
because the Deus Ex was like one of the first games to really try that full force. Like they're just like, no, we want to let people tackle full scenarios in any way they want.
Speaking of which, dude, Square Enix has been fucking knocking them out of the park lately.
As a publisher, they have.
But as I'm talking
as
about
a publisher,
but like I'm talking about like Disney, like the QA there.
No, they've become really
a fucking between.
Have you played any of
Tomb Raider?
Their mobile games, Square's mobile games?
Yeah, I played the Deus Ex one. Did you play the Deus Ex one?
The Universe?
No,
that's just like a wiki.
No. There's a full on sequel game.
Oh yeah,
that was a full game.
No. I'm talking like Square developed. I'm not talking about.
You're talking about like the Final Fantasy, Mobius and shit. I have it on my phone. I haven't played it yet. I haven't downloaded.
They're awesome.
There's way too many phone games that came out. There was like an Iron Maiden one. There's like
so I heard about the Iron Maiden one.
The Iron Maiden one's awesome. It's a turn. It's like Mario RPG style, like timed combat stuff.
Oh, like rhythm based.
And and then there was that one Final Fantasy that came out that was like the 2D.
Brave Exavius.
I liked it. I liked it. I thought that was cool. And then there was Pokemon Go came out, and then this fucking new Final Fantasy Mobius. I'm like, bro, come on! Like there was like no good mobile games for the longest time, and now there's like a bunch, all in like a 3-week period.
Yeah, it's pretty great. So yeah, Square's been doing really good.
Yeah, they're like. They came back. They were like Sega for a minute,
dude. Yeah, around 2010, whenever Final Fantasy 13 came out, that was like their lowest in North America, because Japan fucking loved the 13 series. Like, that's why there was 3 of them.
13.
I didn't mind them so much.
I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do. I was so high.
I could do it once I like taught my brain to like not call it Final Fantasy. I was fine with it.
I really, really wanted Lightning Returns to be better than it was.
It was still better than the first 13.
I disagree. Respectfully. It didn't have, what's his name? My favorite.
Snow? I knew it. I know Snow is
your favorite. No.
Oh,
not
Hope.
because Troy.
Hope. Hope's your favorite. Hope is his favorite, everyone.
No.
He pulls boomerangs out of his ass.
No, what's the guy that sounds different?
Saz?
Zach.
The Afro Chocobo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Saz.
Saz.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah, I think Saz.
No. Zach.
I think it was Saz. Whatever.
Clearly he's my favorite. I don't remember his name.
Afro Chocobo.
He was my favorite character in that, but also Snow is just all right. How cool!
Heroes never have a plan.
Snow is the most stereotypical Final Fantasy character in that game.
Yeah,
he was like every Square character put together.
It was terrible.
I'm gonna beat.
Well, Lightning was too. Lightning was Lightning was that cloud squall brooding person,
and then he was the punchy.
Yeah, like Zell, but more annoying.
Yeah,
like he made Zell look fucking subtle.
Troy
That's pretty
Baker.
bad, dude.
He was Troy Baker.
When you can make Zell seem like a nuanced character.
Troy Baker still does Snow like as a joke. Like he still does.
Troy Baker. What do you follow his fucking Instagram?
Would that be that weird?
No. Or his Twitter or whatever.
I don't follow Twitter. I'm not even on Tweeters.
I follow a few people on Twitter. You know who you are.
And that brings us to the end of the Critical Beard podcast. Sorry, it got a little. It's always going to get rambly at the end because that's what we do.
Yeah.
We
like
Robert Plants and we ramble on. You know what I'm saying?
Like the guy from the band.
No, Robert is my neighbor and he likes plants. I call him Robert Plants.
I'm good.
Actually, Robert is my neighbor. I have a neighbor named Robert, and he's in.
No one out there knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, they do, and he plants. his girlfriend plants. He doesn't.
Plants his feet on the ground.
Plants.
Oh, what kind of plants?
Ivies. This is the only kind of plant I can think of right now.
Ivies.
Ivies.
Plants. Yeah.
Succulents.
Don't ivies just plant themselves? They're just like fuck you.
I will plant myself in your body after this is done.
In my butt.
Well, I hope you guys have a good week, and I hope you enjoyed this stupid fucking podcast.
Yeah, I hope you liked the podcast of us rambling about No Man's Sky for 50 minutes, because I needed to get all that out.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really needed to get it out.
I recommend this to you if you like the things that I mentioned. Star Trek. Lonely Space Adventure.
Survival games.
Especially,
it's mostly if you like survival games, because that's the main gameplay loop.
Scope.
And if you don't like survival games, you're not going to like this game regardless of the aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't like crafting things and mining things, then you're not going to like it, even if it looks cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Also, fans Scope. It's such a good.
I'm more of a Listerine guy.
Huh?
Critical Beer.
What is your...
No, this is live, dude.
Let's start over.